Hello, welcome to the channel. It's been a while we did a weekly update. We are getting that today and the weeks to come. So the past couple of weeks, especially within September, has been so massive. Like we had a lot of massive moves. So this is a monthly. This from here to here is September, and we see gold moved a lot to this level, and we've had a very significant recovery going into the end of September, and price has continued pushing here. So now let's do a deep dive into the structure of gold. I didn't intend to look at gold first, but it just because it was just on the screen, I decided I would look at that first. So gold is still in a downtrend. So this was our last, not our last high, but within this region, this is our high, low, high, low. Gold made a retracement to this level and entered into this liquidity zone. All right, so price is still bearish. So there are two things that we are looking at here. It's either price breaks the low, makes a pullback, and then continue pushing down, or come back, create a double bottom, and then now start reversing from here. But any of these two means that gold is going to push to the downside. Right. So let's do a deep dive into the 4-hour time frame. All right, so here on the 4-hour time frame, we see a very significant move here, which was a rejection of this liquidity here. So also important to note that this is a head and shoulders pattern that was created here. Head, head, shoulder, shoulder, and a push to the upside. Price is resting on top of this minor resistance level here. And also a test of the EMA here. Important to note there is an EC liquidity zone resting here. So what do I see going into the coming week? I see more bearishness coming in. So this is our sort of barrier we are looking at for the week. So this zone here, price needs to stay this zone for the bearishness to continue. So going into Friday, last week Friday, this is what we had. We had price making this kind of consolidation to the downside here, right? If you look at it this way, you see this is a massive trend to the upside here, but this trend was running into this level here. That's all running to this level to cause the rejection. So now this is what I'll be looking at when the market opens. I would want to see price might come back a little bit to test this zone and go into this zone. So this will be the decision zone. If price stays in this zone, I'll be looking to short this from here all the way back down here throughout the week. It depends on when it gets there. If price is able to make a move all the way back here by Wednesday, then I'll be looking to go long from here on Wednesday. But as I highlighted on the 4-hour time frame, this is a very important zone. So far as price stays below here, we are bearish. But if you want to be very conservative, the best point to start selling gold would be here, below this level here. A rejection, a break, retest of this zone, and then you look to go short on gold. Right. So with that being said, let's go to Forex Factory. Let's go to Forex Factory and have a look at what we have for this week. So today, Sunday, is a JPY bank holiday. So you don't expect much to happen with the Japanese yen. Monday is a card holiday. So I'm in Canada, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And US is also a bank holiday. But there is an FOMC member speaking later in the evening. So this might be something that might cause some little movement in the market. So if you want to be trading tomorrow, you want to trade later in the day around this news event. But aside that, nothing exciting is happening in the market tomorrow, because the US dollar, which is the major traded currency in the world, is on holiday. And today, Sunday night, the whole of Sunday is a JPY, which means the Asian session is also going to be dead. But because of all the things happening around the world, we could still get a lot of movement. So one thing about bank holidays is either there is going to be zero to no volume, or the other currencies are going to take advantage of the currencies that is on holiday and then move against them. So those are the two things. So it's not always that you don't get a lot of moves. Sometimes you get crazy moves against the currency because its bank is on holiday, so the other currencies takes advantage of it. On Tuesday, we have a major GBP news and some other minor GBP news. So it's important to pay attention to GBP on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, another GBP, Gdp, USD, PPI, and then FOMC meeting. Right, so Tuesday, we have a GBP news. Wednesday, GBP USD, and then USD. So Wednesday, we are going to see a lot of volume, especially with GBP USD, right? Thursday, we have CPI. And on Friday, we have core retail sales. So it means this week is going to be a lot of USD, and then pound. So the best pair I recommend you to trade this week would be GBP USD, right? So now let's go back to the chart. So with that being said, because we have a lot of movement coming in for the dollar, we could get this move completed and then a push to the upside. It means there's going to be a lot of volume and hence a lot of opportunity to grab on the USD pairs. So I'm bearish on gold up until this point. And then from here, I'll look for other opportunities. But I'll be keeping an eye on this level, whether to go short or not. All right. Let's have a look at GBP USD. So as I said, the best pair to trade this week would be GBP USD. So if you look at this on the daily time frame, it's more clean. Even on all time frame, this is very clean. We see clearly that this is a super downtrend. You don't need any complex technical analysis to tell you this is downtrend. Going down is a downtrend. Right? On the daily time frame, this is what we had. We've had a big, so this was the last major move that took place. The last major move was here to here. Price made a big recovery to this point here, and this looks like this was a major. All right, so this was a 23.6, which is the same as 786 retracement, depending on the kind of how you use your Fibonacci. So ideally, textbook, all things being equal, if we get price rejection from 23.6, 11.4, we expect price to push all the way to 112 to 127. So all things being equal, this rejection predicts price pushing all the way down here. This would be good. If we get a strength of USD continue, means we could get about almost 1,000 pips on Gbp USD in the coming weeks. So here we are still bearish here. And we've had a significant push here. Price is resting below the AMA here on Gbp USD. So this is one thing that I'll be keeping an eye on. When the market opens, just like gold, I'll be expecting a pullback to take place. It might not necessarily take place at the beginning of the session, but it is something I'm keeping an eye on. This zone, just like the one we saw on gold, I'll be looking for a potential pullback into that zone. When that happens, I'll look to go short from here. And another important thing to notice, this zone here that we are looking at is also in line with the major psychological level, 1.1250. Let me mark this level here, 1.1250. 1.125 is a major psychological level to keep an eye on. So this is what I mean. A pullback to here, and that will be your short selling signal for you to go short from here. So the short TP when price goes into this level would be $250 pips. So depending on how volatile the USD is, we could get this as our move for the week for 260, 270 pips. So we'll keep an eye on the levels that are created along the line. Right. So price could continue going down, but if it makes the pullback into this zone, you are clear to sell this from here back to this level here. But on the way up, if it creates other liquidity, then the TP might be short. Right. So that would be Gbp Usd. This would be a very interesting pair to look at this week based on the fundamentals we have for the week. It's going to give us a lot of volume. So Gdp Jpy is following the same kind of scenario with what Gbp Usd is doing, but the trend is different. So here on Gbp USD, we saw that price was in a very big downtrend, but with GJ we had a massive push to the downside, double bottom and a push to the upside. But at the current level that we are now, it appears price is looking to make some retracement from the current higher region to the downside. So in terms of trend, Gbp Jpy is now really in a good state of trend. Like ideally, based on the kind of setups I trade, I would want to stay away from this kind of structure. But this pair has a lot of volume. So even when it is ranging, you still get your 150, 200 pips on a good day. So what do we see here? For the past couple of days, we see bearishness. So we have price coming into this zone here. We saw this ugly structure. So all over here, we see price testing this daily level here multiple times. And it's tapped it multiple times and rejected. But this time, it created a lower high, which is pinpointing more momentum to the downside, right? And the last time price was here, it broke the low. This low was broken, right? So worst case scenario, long term, we could see price at least coming back into the zone here. And also coupled with, if you look at it on the weekly time frame, the weekly time frame is very bullish, but you can see the level that we talked about, or this rejection here. And from the way last week closed, we could get price at least coming back to the zone, as I said. before, if price is looking to push the downside, we'll look at signs to do that, right? So let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, this is the level that we highlighted. Price run off, pullback, retest. So there is something very unique going on here. So last week I tried to buy this, but it was too early, but price is still sitting in the zone. So this is a liquidity that was created here. I was looking to buy this to this level before selling. So there is a zone sitting on top of the level, just like we had on the USD. So if you have price pushing into this zone here, I'll look to sell this also down at least to this level here. All right. So I'm bearish on gold, I'm bearish on Gbp Usd, and also bearish on Gdp Jpy. We had a nice trend line break, bearish liquidity here. If price push here, even though today is a bank holiday, I'll still sell Gdp Jpy. If it consolidates, I'll hold it and see if this could be the move for the week. This could be the move for the week. 700 pips. All things being equal. Let's have a look at the Euro JPY. So Euro JPY and Euro GBP, they have different structures, but they move in a similar manner. So if we are looking at the bearish Gbp Jpy, we should be looking at a potential bearishness on Euro JPY as well, right? So here, if we look at the daily time frame, we have a similar structure, just like we highlighted on GJ. We have price testing this level here, like multiple tests, and then here we've had this consecutive push from Wednesday going down, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? From Wednesday, we had a reversal here. So you're most likely going to see continuous weakness going to the downside, just like we highlighted on Euro, Gbp Jpy. So we had price resting below the EME here. But here too, we have a liquidity level that is sitting on top of price right here below the EME. Another level that I would potentially be keeping an eye on is this level here. And this also happens to be a retest of this level here. All right, so if you look at it, this is what you see in the bigger picture. We have, I claimed that. This is a potential level for price to test, and we could run this down all the way here. Right. So that's also something to keep an eye on for a potential move on JPY. If we get a retracement, this zone or that zone is a potential selling zone for the Euro JPY. Next, we'll look at Gbp CHF because we are on the CHF. The GBPs, let's just complete them with the other GBP pairs. So here, this has a very similar structure to GJ. Very similar structure to GJ. We have price sitting here in this liquidity level here. And we have another liquidity level sitting on top here. So this is what I'm looking at for Gbp CHF. We don't have a clear trend like the other pairs that we looked at. So I'm looking at a potential push into this level to give a double top, and then we'll look to sell here. So if I get a buying opportunity here, I'll go long here into this zone, and I'll look to sell here. So because we've looked at GBP CHF, let's quickly look at Euro CHF, which has a similar structure compared to, just like the way GJ and then EJ have a similar structure. Euro CHF and GBP CHF also have a very similar structure. So we also have that EMA test around the support, and price is also resting on this big liquidity level here. So we could see a push up, but here the level to keep an eye on for a potential push would be here, this liquidity that price left here. So on Euro CHF, this might not really be a double top, but it will be more or less like a lower high. So this is what I'll be keeping an eye on. We have this sort of consolidation push here. So price push to the upside, grab liquidity here and start dropping here. So this is what I'll be sort of looking out for long term for Euro CHF. So these pairs are all showing a similar pattern of structure, and but the levels that we are looking for them to test are very different. So we keep an eye on those levels. And AUD USD, one pair that I was looking to go short, but when the actual short happened, I missed the trade. So I started selling this around here, and later I bought here, and then this was the move that happened. So I was not really pleased with the move, but yeah. I still caught the buy here and the buy here and the sell here, but I didn't catch this major one here, which was so terrible. So here we've had price. So its price tested a major level here. So this was a major psychological level, 0.6500. Also happens to be a major quarter point. And we've made a very significant push to this level here. We can have a very nice trend line here. Price is still very bearish here. The ideal move here for a sell to give me more confidence to sell this is if price gives us a very deep retracement into this zone here to give a double top. That would be a very classic buy here, a very classic sell here. So if a deep retracement goes here, we could look to short this for 250 pips going down here. But from the way price has broken this level, the price might not pull back all the way there, because we've already broken this low here, and this looks like a double bottom. So I'll be looking for some pullbacks here. So here we could expect some potential pullbacks here. So one of the levels to keep an eye on would be the zone between the 50% and the 618 level. So this 618 level, if you are using your Fibonacci from 1 to 0, that will be your 382 level. So this is the distance between the 618 and the 382 level. But if you want to make it less complicated, all you want to do is draw your zone from 618 all the way to 318. So which means that anyhow you draw your Fibonacci, you still get the same thing. So this is a zone I'll be looking out for potential pullback here. So if price pulls all the way back to give us a double top, that would be very exciting, but I wouldn't expect price to make 100% retracement back to test the high. So this is what I'll be looking at. A pullback into the zone, and also a test of the trend line. Right. So I'll do a lesson on trend lines and teach you how I use my trend lines sometime in the future. A pullback to test this zone and a test of the trend line would make me go short to this level here. we are going to see a similar sort of pattern on NZD USD as well. A similar pattern on NZD USD. So here, this is showing as a double bottom, a triple bottom. It makes a lot of sense to expect some pullback here. So here, this is our trend line here. Connects this and that's our trend line, and that's our EMA here. So here, with our Fibonacci going from 1, 0 to 1, this is our zone here. 32618. And you can look to buy from here, which I wouldn't be doing, right? But a pullback into this level here, I will look to go short back here for about 150 pips on NZD USD. Right. So I'll look at, let's go through the Nasdaq and the US 30. So there are other pairs here that I look at generally to like give trade ideas, but personally, these are the pairs I trade at the moment. Let's quickly look at the Nasdaq. So we had a very significant push on the Nasdaq here from last week. Very great push here. We should expect some pullbacks on the Nasdaq, but this is still very bearish. Okay. So here, I would expect some pullback on the Nasdaq all the way back here. Let me see. These are some scenarios to keep an eye on. So we could get a head and shoulders pattern here, which means you could get a deep retracement coming here. And this could be the move Monday, Tuesday move, and then we get a Wednesday reversal here. So I'm still bearish on the Nasdaq, but potential pullbacks here. This structure looks very funky, so I would not be looking to take a buy here. Same for US 30, but with US 30, the levels are very clear here. You have a liquidity level sitting here, and this is coinciding with this major psychological level 3000. So let's keep an eye on this. There's a very good level here, 3000. So if you get a buy opportunity, you could take a buy all the way back into this zone here. The zone between 29,800 and then 30,100. That is the zone you'll be looking out for. You could look to buy all the way here. And then we look for selling opportunity back down here. Right? So still bearish on US 30. Right? So this is, I'm not planning to make this very long, even though I've already gone very long. This is what I have for you this week. I might look to add other pairs to it as well, but these are the pairs I trade, so I decided to go through this pair. And because we've also taken a break for a very long time, I don't want to bore you with a lot of pairs. But in the Telegram page, if you have a so I disabled the chat in the Telegram page, so no comments. You can't comment on the video because some people started spamming and posting their own chat and all that. Yeah, so If you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment. And see you next week. I might do another session on Tuesday. So expect a breakdown on Tuesday. We'll give an update of what has happened from today, Tuesday, and then make a plan for what to expect for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right. So once again, like, subscribe, share, and see you in the next video.